All of my most recent videos have been composed in sleep. What that means is during a post-dream state just before waking, I have been having visions. These visions come with a scripted narration, as though intended to become podcast content, and somehow, even after waking, I can remember most of the words. It was in this manner that The Dumbest Generation, 3 Failed Exorcisms, as well as my video about Peanut the Squirrel came to be. My purpose in this reveal is intuitive. I am not trying to falsely style myself as a prophet, a peaked hypersensitive, or a man of prescient revelations, although I am just that, and most likely so are you too. What has been happening to me is no different whatsoever than what is happening now in the lives of all people of faith or spirituality in this realm at this time. The difference is simply the fact that most people, affected as I am, nudged by higher powers in their sleep or in waking life, are in a pernicious routine of denial and distraction, and can no longer hear when God speaks to them. Last night my vision and message was for Christians. It actually had a 2-part title. Last night's vision showed me what American Christians have become: digital escapists and/or tech nerds and junkies. They have lost all sense of their spiritual admonition to come out from among them and be ye separate and touch not the unclean thing. In our modern times, Christians have actually become the main drivers of the unclean thing through the passive acquiescence of their own persecution. Christians are discriminated against in American universities, if lucky enough to make admissions, persecuted financially, denied the same charity tax exemption that drag queen organizations get, demoralized and dehumanized in all mainstream media, and as a result they have traded in their boldness of the lion for an agoraphobic existence of streaming, video gaming, and social media compulsion. When the government tells them to close their churches, they now eagerly comply. They have become consumers and cowards, taking on whatever social liberal trends they feel are required to camouflage themselves from the modern persecution. When is the last time you encountered a person of faith without a finicky smartphone in their hand? Now behold what is taking place. A biometric AI surveillance state is being erected nationwide, backed by Big Pharma, Zuckerberg, and the global mass murderer Bill Gates, who met with Donald Trump for 3.5 hours just before the White House announced the rollout of their Stargate operation, into which $500 billion has been poured. Since this announcement, I have seen Christians unanimously celebrating the nationwide staffing of data centers, as if cheering some opportunity boom and not their own inevitable future enslavement. Scripturally, a biometric AI surveillance state is the same as a beast system, wherein one's opportunities for advancement in life are relegated by unseen overlords. I believe that American Christians have now fallen so far that they are officially cheering the rollout of the actual biblical beast system. The man helping to make this possible is Elon Musk, who has already expressed determination to put a digital chip in all of mankind's forehead for a neural link. Incidentally, the Euphrates River recently dried up too, just for the record. The intention of the beast system during the tribulation period of the Bible is to fully control all buying and selling on an individual basis, so that no one can even exist without living in total obedience to the beast. A simulation of this intended reality was rolled out during the COVID mRNA push, wherein people who poisoned themselves with genetically altering mystery goo were given greater social and economic access than those who refused to poison themselves. A broader simulation of the beast system also occurred by way of ESG scoring and its resulting DEI discrimination of white people in America, with 94% of all new hiring in 2021 going to people of color. Even now, the Google Gemini program refuses to depict white people at all, even casting historical figures like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln as black. These are just mild tastes of how the beast system intends to control and convolute our lives, and in America, the Christian tech nerds are cheering for it. Now I want to pause for a moment and imagine a grid failure scenario, an EMP attack, or more likely the American government working with the power and energy companies to simply shut everything down. This would probably happen either in wintertime or during a heatwave summer. Suddenly you have no access to food, water, heat, or cool. Naturally, for the sake of survival, you would then need to barter or trade for your food, water, heat, or cool. What barter or trade items do you actually even own these days? Remember, a mass outage or EMP attack will render your phone, laptop, iPad, smart TV, and every last digital device that you own utterly worthless for barter or trade, which dramatically brings into question what actual value any of these items in your life have now. Frankly, you didn't buy any of these items to improve your life. In the first place, you bought them all because you are deeply afraid of falling behind the social trends, of disconnecting. For some time, FOMO has been your new god, and now, rather than a guiding internal mandate, the notion of come out from among them and be ye separate and touch not the unclean thing terrifies you more than anything else you can think of. The WEF puts out talking points about a future in which we all own nothing and are happy. The sad fact is that you already own nothing now, at least nothing of real value. In the event of a nationwide grid shutdown, the people with the most valuable barter and trade goods would literally be the Amish. AI has now destroyed the careers of writers, poets, skilled laborers, auteur photographers, filmmakers and editors, actors, clockmakers, farmers, pilots, as well as craftsmen and artisans from all walks of life. The Bible promises that a man's gift makes room for him in this world. That is the very form and function of nature, that we are all born with dormant talents which, when developed, become our calling in life, as well as our means of income, of security. AI promises to replace our talents, overtaking our functions, and ultimately enslaving us. Current economic projections have it that within 3 years, over 50% of all known careers will have been replaced by AI. This kind of dark evolution is a one-way street. Once you start in this direction, there is no going back. As a species, we are now confronting the greatest evil that human eyes have ever seen. Yet, being the hopeless tech nerds that they are, Christians continue to cheer. For Brandish Productions, this is Daddy Brandish.